Greetings from the world of Danganronpa to all of the dedicated fans. Most of you already know me, but for those of you who are new to the world of Danganronpa, I'm Tsumugi Shirogane, the ultimate cosplayer. I've recorded this special message because I have an announcement to make regarding the new upcoming season of Danganronpa. The team and I would like to thank you for your support as we get ready for our latest season. We're very excited about this one, and we just can't wait for you to see it. Also, as a way of thanking you for your years of support, we've created a way to bring the thrill of a killing game into your very own home. Introducing Dangan Werewolf. Inspired by card games such as Mafia and Ultimate Werewolf, this logic-based card game used to be available only in certain areas. However, through the use of Tabletop Simulator, you can now play with friends across the world. The Dangan Werewolf mod for Tabletop Simulator contains English translations of all cards included in the original Japan-only card game, along with a lot of other fun new features. You'll recognize all your favorite characters from Danganronpa 1 and Super Danganronpa 2. And as a special treat, we've added characters from the upcoming Danganronpa V3 as well. Now you can get to know the characters before the season starts! There's the kind-hearted Kaede Akamatsu, the cold and mysterious Maki Harukawa, and little Shuichi Saihara, the rookie detective. I won't spoil anything, but poor Shuichi will have to face many trials and hardships in this upcoming season. Maybe, with the help of his friends, he can become a true ultimate detective. This game also includes written instructions on how to play. But don't you think that's just plain boring? I think it's better to learn by watching. That's why I'd like to walk you through a short practice game to teach you the basics. Just watch me, and you'll be running your own games in no time. This is the play table. It supports up to 10 players on the board and 1 player acting as the headmaster. I'll be the headmaster this time, of course. The first thing we need to do is figure out what character deck everyone wants to use. There's lots to choose from, but for this example, we'll use the Danganronpa V3 deck. We also need to figure out what role cards everyone wants to use. Since this is an example session, we'll use the basic cards. 1 blackened, 1 alter ego, 2 traitors, and the rest are innocents. Finally, I need to select my headmaster piece. There's lots to choose from, but for me, the obvious choice is Monokuma. A killing game without Monokuma is just plain impossible. Now onto the basic rules. First of all, we need to go over time zones. Time zones are what dictate the flow of the game. The time zones are morning, midday, and night. Starting at morning, the game cycles through midday, night, and then back to morning the next day. If you're familiar with time as a concept, you should plainly be able to understand this. The game starts at day 0, morning. This is a time for the headmaster to set up the game. I'm the headmaster this session, so let me walk you through the steps. First, I deal each player 1 character card, 1 role card, and 2 item cards. The character cards are placed face up for everyone to see. Players place their cards down in the labeled spots, and then press their Summon Ultimate button. This gives each player a chest, and inside the chest are lifelike figures of each character. These figures can even emote, so play with them however you like. If you're feeling up to it, you can even do the voices. The role cards and item cards are kept hidden from other players. Role cards dictate how each player plays the game. Each role card is either on hope or despair side, and both sides have different win conditions. Plainly put, hope side is trying to kill the blackened, and the blackened is trying to reach a certain number of kills and survive the class trials. Despair side is trying to help the blackened win. Finally, item cards can be used to alter the flow of the game. Since I am the headmaster, I can of course see everyone's cards. If a player is just plain unhappy with their item cards, they may put them back in the deck, and I will give them 2 new ones. The last thing we need to do to set the game up is introduce ourselves to each other. Players should introduce their character card and that card's ability. This not only lets everyone know what ability is in play, but it also lets players get into character if they wish. With all of that done, the game is set up and we're ready to play. Game setup on day 0 takes place across morning and midday, so after setting up, I declare it to be night. All players go to sleep and only open their eyes upon my command. On night of day 0, there are a few things I need to do as headmaster. Traitors get to see who the blackened is. The alter ego gets to investigate a player. And the blackened gets to attack someone. Additionally, all of this is done secretly. So, how should we do it? I think the best way to explain that is to just plain see it in action. To all traders, wake up and I will point out who the blackened is. When you understand, go back to sleep. To the alter ego, choose someone to investigate. I will signal to you if they're on hope's side or despair side. White is hope, black is despair. When you understand, go back to sleep. To the blackened, move your token to knock over the player you wish to attack. Then go back to sleep. Do you see? By signaling to each other with the trophies, all of the information is a secret. Once I have done all of this, I announce it is morning of day 1 and instruct all players to wake up, revealing the victim of the first attack. The player that was attacked first does not die, but does discard 1 item card. After all, it would be just plain unfair if you were killed before the game really started. It is now day 1, midday. Character abilities and item cards play a big part from this point onward, so from here on, I will refer to them as skill items. At the start of each time period, I should ask players if they wish to use skill items. Skill item cards contain bullets, which dictate when and how they must be used. There are many different bullets, so here's a quick overview of them. So, for example, Kaida's ability, We Can Do It, lets her draw an item card, look at it, and then give it to another player. Each card has a different ability, so try to get familiar with them. Also, from here on, all attacks from the blackened will be fatal, unless someone can stop the attack with a skill item. From day 1, each midday, if nobody has died that day, there is a 3-minute information session. This allows players to discuss who they think the blackened is. Try to use logic to figure it out if you're on the side of hope. If you're on despair side, scheme and lie and do whatever you can to fool the hope side players. Remember that the blackened doesn't know what side anyone is really on, so maybe you can try doing or saying something to give them a hint that you're really on their side. Afterwards, it's night again. I resolve the effects of any skill items that were played that night, and then signal secretly to the alter ego and the blackened again, using the same commands as day 0. Once players are familiar with the flow of the game, you can try mixing it up by getting into character. Try out your Monokuma impression. Boop, 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 boop. It is now day 2, morning, and Kaede is injured from the blackened's attack. All players may use skill items to help her, or give her an item card that she could use to save herself. However, if nobody does either of those things, Kaede will die. Keep in mind that Kaede can speak to beg for help, but she shouldn't reveal any information that she learned last night, not until she is confirmed by the headmaster to be saved. In this case, nobody has done anything to save poor Kaede, so unfortunately, she's dead now. Dead players can't do much. They can't play skill items, can't speak in any game-affecting way, and also can't vote in a class trial. If that player was the alter ego, they reveal that role card, and they also can't investigate anyone anymore. One thing they can do, however, is give a life-saving item card to a player that is about to die, just like the other players can. There are also special cards that allow you to do certain things even if you're dead. So even if you die, don't give up hope! As we move to midday, players can still play skill items, but since someone died this morning, instead of an information session, we move to the class trial. Players can play skill items in the class trial too. Some skill items affect non-stop debate, and others affect voting. So I should be sure to call for use of them once before the debate and once again before voting. The class trial consists of a 3-minute non-stop debate, where players try to figure out who the blackened is, or lie to trick the other players. At the end of the debate, all players participating in the class trial vote by pushing these special buttons. It's just plain easy. Tally the vote to determine who was voted to be punished. If voting ends in a tie, I put another 3 minutes on the clock, and a second vote is cast where only those involved in the tie can be voted for. If that vote results in a tie, the game recommends deciding by a coin flip. However, feel free to come up with your own rules to resolve this situation. I like to use this dice myself. The final outcome is that the player voted to be punished will be killed. From here, the gameplay repeats until somebody wins. When the blackened is dead, Hope side wins. When the blackened reaches their goal amount of murders and survives the final class trial, Despair side wins. There are also extended play role cards that have different win conditions, such as the Ultimate Despair. Take a look at them when you become familiar with the basics. Those are the basic rules of the game. It should be plain to see for you now. From the viewpoint of the player, your goal is to debate, argue, lie, bargain, cooperate, kill or deceive to win the game. From the viewpoint of the headmaster, your goal is to make sure all of the students have a fun time playing the game. With that being said, all of these rules are just meant as a foundation. If you and your friends come up with a rule that makes the game more fun, use it! The game even includes some extra pieces to help give you ideas. Finally, there is an official Discord dedicated to all things Dangan Werewolf. The link is in the video description. You can reach out to the mod creator here, discuss homebrew cards, or just use the space to set up games with your friends. I hope you all have fun masterminding and playing your own killing games with Dangan Werewolf. And I'll see you all in Danganronpa Be Free!